Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Steve destroys Ethan Klein's content nuke on HASAN PIKER, in which Ethan Klein tries to justify the Gaza genocide. So in this one, we have Ethan Klein calling out HASAN PIKER for his terrible anti-Semitism. He called Jews inbred. Let's check that out.
Let's have a friendly place, a safe environment. It's calling a minority group inbred, which results in a permanent ban. Okay, has anyone else done that?
The Jewish KKK brigades out there, just a bunch of fucking inbred hicks. Imagine the—
Whoa, he called like Jewish settlers in the West Bank who do genocide. Wow, he called Jewish settlers in the West Bank inbred? Whoa, how dare he?
The most inbred
He called fucking Itamar Ben-Gvir inbred? Whoa, how dare he?
white supremacist guy you can imagine, okay? Every week there was another—
Wait, I just want to know, like, he talked about calling a minority group inbred. Israelis aren't a minority group. Israelis are literally the beneficiaries of an ethnic racial state for their benefit. How the fuck are they a minority group? You're claiming that Israelis, like Israeli Jews, are a marginalized minority? What the fuck?
fucking psychopathic settler inbred fucking
How dare you call a fucking psychopathic settler an inbred?
douchebag. Oh, these inbred.
He's calling, these people are literally in this picture that he's looking at here. These are people who are quite literally blocking aid to Gaza and filming themselves doing it and celebrating themselves doing it. And he calls them inbred. And Ethan Klein is here is like, how dare you do that against this poor marginalized minority group?
Fucking douchebags in the background, dude. A nation entirely
So anyway, let's talk about people who call Jews inbred for being Jews. And I'm not just talking about like HASAN using the term inbred to describe Israelis engaging in literal war crimes and genocide. I'm talking about Ethan Klein actually just straight up saying how much he hates an actual minority, which is very traditional religious Jews in Jerusalem, and what he says about them in inbreeding. Let's watch.
Say to that.
I mean, well, I've lived in Israel for 5 years, so they wear the suits, they got the hats, they don't shower nearly enough. When it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, they rock the black suit. They stink, bro. They stink. And you know they don't shave. You've seen their face. Imagine what their dicks look like.
Wait, I always thought those were like fake.
That's so bizarre, like thinking about what their dicks look like, Ethan. You just go around like thinking about what random Jewish man's dick look like all the time.
Those are
real?
Those aren't extensions.
Those are real.
Those are all.
That is commitment. I guess, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
Their faces look so gnarly. So imagine what these dudes look naked, and they're all pretty fat, too.
Why are you imagining what they look like naked, Ethan?
You know that wife's at home cooking. That's all she does.
Not all fat.
Well, a lot of the ones you see are pretty chunky.
Can we get a picture?
Yeah, let's see this.
Yeah.
I'll be the judge of how hot they are.
Harry. No. You asked for it. Acidic Jew.
So Eric, what about you, man?
My tooth hurts.
You know, I typed that, and the
He just makes his guests, like his guests want to fucking leave this room.
first thing that came up is Jewish porn.
What?
I typed fat, hairy,
Ashkenazi
Hasidic
Jewish
Jew.
porn? I
It's
want to say
based on,
Hasidic Jewish porn.
I guess
It's based
I
on,
guess
you know,
there's
What does he have to say
different
about
I have an
inbreeding?
update.
Here's what Ethan Klein has to say about Ashkenazi Jews and inbreeding.
Well, and I mean, Ashkenazi Jews were all inbred. That's why we all have all these
Really?
neurological diseases.
Holy shit.
Because back in the day, we had our little village, and we fucking ran around in our little suits.
Like
And
Amish.
nobody wanted to fuck us, so we're like, well, we'll fuck each other. And to be honest, there's like stinky suit where like, bro, you have to be very generous to fuck a Hasidic Jew, right?
God, man.
How would I know?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll
Mike
tell
gonna
you.
say to that?
I mean, well, I've lived in Israel for 5 years.
And let's take a look at more of Ethan Klein just outright being like openly hateful and anti-Semitic of an actual minority of Jews. European Jews, like Ethan Klein himself, hate people who they view as not conforming to this sort of new Jewish nationalist culture that they created.
Here we are in Hebron. And it's the home of the Jew. The Jewy Jew, not just this Jew like, me or Ela. But this is home of the super Jew. The Jew, the dirty, grimy, jacket-wearing Jews. Real dirty ass, nasty. You know what I mean? It's like, who can look more Jewish? Boom. It's like it doesn't end. I mean, come on.
So as you can see, it's nothing more than performative outrage with Ethan Klein. He is like the most anti-Semitic guy around. He thinks himself that like Hasidic Jews, European Jews in general are inbred, and like he drives around Jerusalem just like pointing out Jews who he sees in the street and talking about like how dirty they are apparently. And we compare that to HASAN PIKER, who called like fanatical Israeli settlers inbred, like actual war criminals actively trying to stop aid from getting to Gaza. People who, Klein, to be clear, Klein himself has claimed that he views them as like valid military targets. Like he thinks that Palestinians should be allowed to murder them willy-nilly if we are to believe what he says. Which, to be clear, I don't actually believe that Klein believes that, but he pretended to in his content Nuke in an effort to like try and paint himself as being pro-Palestinian.
The West Bank are religious zealots, they're monsters, they're genocidal. I've even said the West Bank settlers are valid military targets. When you talk about like colonial settlers and stuff, like that's what's actually happening in the West Bank right now. And these people are more or less valid military targets, in my opinion.
So how do you go from saying that about them to pretending to be outraged because HASAN PIKER says that they are inbred? And you go from first up painting them as like genocidal colonial maniacs who are valid military targets. Then like an hour later in the same video, you start up like the fake outrage train, like, oh, he called a minority inbred. It's just such fucking bullshit. Obviously, Klein is the anti-Semite here, calling fucking colonial genocidal settlers, who Klein himself pretended that he thinks are valid military targets who Palestinians should be able to kill whenever they want. Calling those people inbred is fine. You know what isn't fine though? Stalking random fucking religious Jews in Jerusalem, pointing to them and being like, ugh, that's so dirty, that's so disgusting. So yeah, just another example of how pathetic and dishonest Klein's pathetic little content Nuke was. See ya.